chosen ones. They're all wondering who you are and what you did. They are crazy for you, spiritual wisdom. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to shine brighter than others, drawing all eyes and leaving others in awe? As Rumi wisely said, "You were born with wings. Why prefer to crawl through life?" Today we're diving into why you're one of the chosen ones, the ones people can't stop talking about, the ones they're dying to understand. There's something about you that's magnetic, and it's time to embrace it. This isn't just about admiration. This is about stepping into your true power for personal growth and lasting happiness. What do you think sets you apart from the crowd? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Share them in the comments below, and let's unlock the secrets of your extraordinary journey together. Legends aren't born, they're revealed in silence. The world rarely sees them coming, and when they do, they enter with such quiet power that they leave everyone wondering, who is this person? What makes them different? The most intriguing figures in history, the ones whose influence echoes through time, were never the loudest voices in the room. They didn't demand attention, they simply commanded it with their presence. And that's you, chosen ones. Every time you step into a space, people can't help but stare, whispering, who are they? What have they done to make life seem so effortless? The answer is simple. You have tapped into a level of spiritual strength that few can understand. It's not about being the loudest or the flashiest. It's about mastering the art of subtlety, of carrying an aura that makes people stop and think. This mysterious energy isn't something that can be faked. It's something that flows naturally when you're in tune with your deeper self. The spiritual power of mystery is what sets you apart. Psychological studies reveal that mystery is one of the most magnetic forces that draw people in. Humans are hardwired to seek answers, and when they encounter something they can't easily explain, it triggers an intense desire to know more. People don't just want to understand you, they want to be you. They can feel that you've mastered something they haven't, and that drives them crazy. When you hold back, when you don't give away every detail of who you are, you trigger a longing in others to uncover the secrets that lie beneath the surface. The world is obsessed with the unknown, and you embody it. But this isn't just about playing games or being elusive. It's about maintaining a level of spiritual composure, where you hold your power in such a way that it can't be easily taken from you. You don't need to explain yourself to anyone, because your actions speak louder than words ever could. But those who are drawn to you, those who obsess over you, don't even realize they are witnessing something spiritual. You have something they crave, but it's not just confidence or charm. It's the energy that flows from your being when you align with your true purpose. This alignment makes everything you do appear effortless. It's like a magnetic field, pulling people toward you, making them wonder what it is that makes you so captivating. But this power isn't something you can just switch on. It comes when you understand and embrace your spiritual essence. The moment you let go of the need for external validation and step fully into your own truth, you'll begin to notice that people's fascination with you intensifies. They won't be able to stop thinking about you because you've become a living mystery, a force they can't quite figure out. If you resonate with the quiet power and charismatic presence we talked about today, comment below, "I embrace the mystery within." Step into your power confidently, knowing that you don't have to shout to be heard. You are an enigma, and it's that very mystery about you that captivates everyone around you. You don't fit the typical molds that others expect you to, and that drives them wild with curiosity. People are used to understanding the world in a predictable, controlled way, but you break every expectation, existing outside the usual boundaries. It's not that you're trying to be mysterious, it's simply who you are. You don't need to announce your presence or make a scene to capture attention. Your calm demeanor and quiet confidence do it for you. Others look at you and wonder how you manage to stay so composed, so unshaken, while still drawing people in. You're not broadcasting your thoughts or your every move, and that only makes them more intrigued. There's an energy about you that they can't pinpoint, can't label, and certainly can't control. The more they try to understand you, the more you remain an unsolved puzzle. They desperately want to know what makes you tick, what drives you, and how you found such peace in a chaotic world. But the truth is, the power lies in your authenticity. You've gone through your own spiritual awakening, a deep understanding of who you are, beyond the superficial, and you've let go of the need for external validation. In a world where so many people are seeking approval, trying to fit in or live up to someone else's expectations, you've chosen a different path. You've become comfortable with being yourself, without needing to explain or defend your choices. This is where your true power lies. You don't need anyone's approval, because you've already recognized your worth. Your life doesn't need to be an open book for others to read. What's important is that you're living in alignment with your true self, and that in itself is magnetic. It's this unshakable sense of self that makes people constantly wonder, who are they? And how can I be more like that? But you're not holding on to any secrets or hidden knowledge. Your mystery simply comes from the fact that you've embraced your true essence and stopped pretending to be anything else. As you continue on your journey, you'll find that more and more people will be drawn to your energy, eager to understand the depth you carry with you. They'll try to decode you, but they'll never fully succeed because your essence cannot be contained or defined. You are not here to fit into their boxes or live by their rules. Your purpose is much greater than that. The way you live, in such a calm, unapologetic way, is a testament to your spiritual growth. Your true power lies in your authenticity and your ability to walk through the world with grace, while remaining true to yourself. You've become a beacon for others to see what's possible when you live from a place of inner peace and self-awareness. You don't need anyone to understand you, because you understand yourself, and that's all that truly matters. Are you ready to embrace your mysterious allure? If so, comment below, "I embrace my enigma," and take the first step towards owning the captivating energy that makes you unforgettable. Your energy challenges the very comfort zones of those around you, often in ways they don't fully understand. You are different not in a superficial way, but in the deepest sense. While most people go through life seeking stability, comfort, and predictability, you're a force of change, an embodiment of calm confidence that disrupts everything they thought they knew. Without trying, you shake the very foundation of their reality, forcing them to confront their own limitations. It's not that you set out to unsettle anyone, but simply by existing, you create a space where they are faced with their own doubts and insecurities. The way you carry yourself, so completely unbothered by societal expectations, reveals just how little most people are willing to be themselves. You're not interested in blending in. You've chosen the path of authenticity, and that alone is a challenge to the conformist life most people have settled into. You live as though you are free from the need for approval, free from the shackles of self-doubt, and that freedom is magnetic, even if it makes them uncomfortable. They find themselves inexplicably drawn to you, yet at the same time, they are unsettled by your very presence. It's as if your energy reflects back to them the parts of themselves they've ignored or hidden away, their insecurities, their unfulfilled dreams, the aspects of their character they wish they could change, but are too afraid to confront. It's not intentional. It's simply the effect of being in your presence. You mirror to them their own potential, the parts of themselves they long to realize, but which they have been too afraid to pursue. This is the power of spiritual growth. It's not just about changing your life, it's about the ripple effect your growth has on others. You don't need to say a word to make people question their own existence. Your energy, your calm and unwavering confidence, silently challenges them to look within, to question the reality they've built for themselves, and to wonder why they have been settling for less than what they deserve. The more you step into your power, the more they are forced to ask themselves hard questions. Why am I not living to my full potential? Why do I continue to hide behind comfort and predictability? And yet, it is not just the uncomfortable ones who are affected. There are those who will be inspired by your example, those who see in you a reflection of what is possible. To them, you are a beacon of hope, a reminder that growth is possible, that transformation is real. They see you living proof that it's possible to break free from the constraints of fear and doubt and live a life that is true to yourself. To them, you are not a threat, but a guide, a reminder of the spiritual growth they can also achieve. Your presence alone is a testament to the power of authenticity and spiritual growth. You do not need to chase attention or force anyone to change. The way you carry yourself, your unwavering confidence, and your refusal to settle for anything less than your best, speaks volumes. You are a living example that challenges those around you to rise up and become the best versions of themselves, whether they are ready for it or not. If you find it relevant, please like and share with others. Your support helps us continue to create challenging and uplifting content that empowers you to push yourself beyond your comfort zone every day. Your silence is more powerful than their noise. While most people rush to fill every moment with chatter, over-explaining, or desperate attempts to be heard, you remain calm, composed, and deliberate with your words. When you speak, it's measured and purposeful, yet it cuts straight to the core. This silence isn't mere absence of sound. It's a commanding force that unsettles those around you. They can't figure you out, and that's what drives them crazy. In a world full of distractions and constant validation seeking, your ability to remain silent makes you an enigma. They expect you to react, to give them something to hold on to, but you refuse to play their game. Instead, you stand your ground, your demeanor steady and unfazed. Your silence forces them to question themselves. Are you indifferent, judging, or simply too wise to waste words? That uncertainty gnaws at them, and that in itself is a kind of power. You don't need to explain your every move or justify your existence. The value of your silence lies in the fact that it invites introspection. Most people can't handle the discomfort of not knowing what's happening in someone else's mind. They can't deal with the fact that you remain unfazed by their attempts to draw you in. This kind of spiritual strength is rare. It's not about withholding information. It's about preserving your energy for things that truly matter. Your words carry weight, and you understand that not every situation requires a response. The more you hold back, the more they seek to understand you. The more they try to decipher your every gesture, your every expression. And in the end, they realize that they can't control or predict you. This is the power of a man who is in tune with his spiritual self. Your silence is your shield and your sword, cutting through the noise without you ever having to raise your voice. In a world where many are driven by external validation, you stand apart. Your silence reveals a level of self-assurance that others can only envy. You've mastered the art of restraint, knowing that sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is say nothing at all. This ability to remain still and unshaken in the face of external chaos speaks volumes about your inner peace and spiritual clarity. You don't need to explain your worth to anyone. Your presence alone commands respect, and your silence ensures that you maintain control over your narrative. People will wonder, will speculate, but in the end, they'll never truly understand what makes you tick, and that's exactly how you want it. Don't forget to subscribe for more insights on how you're standing out and capturing everyone's attention. You were chosen for greatness. Let's unlock your full potential together. Your success appears almost too easy to others, as if everything you touch turns into gold. To the outside world, your achievements seem effortless, and your path appears perfectly aligned with prosperity. But what they don't understand is the hidden effort behind your victories. They can't see the sleepless nights, the endless hours of hard work, the sacrifices, and the moments of doubt you faced alone. To them, your success feels like a mystery, an enigma they can't solve. What truly baffles them is your calm composure. You don't boast about your achievements, you don't seek attention or sympathy for your struggles, and you certainly don't flaunt your wins. You simply keep moving forward with unwavering confidence, accomplishing what others can only dream of. This serene confidence makes it look like the universe has been rigged in your favor, as if you've been handed a secret roadmap while everyone else is still trying to find their way. But the truth is, your success is not the result of luck or favoritism. It's the outcome of your own spiritual awakening, your deep connection with purpose, and your relentless discipline. You've earned everything through hard work, resilience, and the wisdom gained from facing life's challenges. You're not the result of chance, you're the result of constant growth, patience, and alignment with your higher self. While some may resent your effortless success, there's also a deep, unspoken admiration. Your journey inspires them, even if they can't fully comprehend the depth of it. The reason your wins seem so effortless is not because life has been easy, but because you've cultivated a mindset that turns obstacles into opportunities. You've embraced a path of growth and resilience, and in doing so, you've become someone who others can't help but notice, someone they wonder about, admire, and may even envy. They are constantly trying to figure you out, to understand the secret behind your strength. But they can't. You have something they don't, something that's drawing them to you, yet they can't quite grasp it. What truly perplexes them is your complete indifference to their opinions. People are used to seeking approval, to chasing after validation, and constantly molding themselves based on what others think. But not you. You don't need anyone's approval to feel good about who you are. Their judgments, their praise, or even their criticisms, none of it affects you. You've built a life that is immune to the fleeting highs and lows that come from external validation. You've tapped into something deeper, the unwavering confidence that comes from knowing who you are at your core. This confidence doesn't fluctuate with the opinions of others because it's not built on their approval. You've freed yourself from the exhausting cycle of needing others to confirm your worth. This clarity, this peace, is what makes you so magnetic, and it's driving them crazy. They can't understand how you can be so unaffected by their opinions. They expect everyone to fit into the same mold, to seek validation and approval from the world around them, but you've completely detached yourself from that narrative. While they're desperately trying to maintain control over how they're perceived, you've embraced a new kind of freedom. You've chosen to break free from the need for external validation, and in doing so, you've found your true power. It's not arrogance, it's simply understanding that your worth is not up for negotiation. Their judgments, whether positive or negative, don't define you. The way they see you doesn't matter. What matters is how you see yourself. You've become an enigma to them, someone who cannot be swayed or controlled, and that's why they are so obsessed with figuring you out. In their eyes, you are different. Your clarity and self-assurance leave them in awe and confusion. They keep wondering how you can stand so tall, so unshaken, in a world that's obsessed with external opinions. What they don't realize is that you've learned something they haven't. True power comes from within. You're not caught up in their game of validation. You're free from their expectations, and that freedom is what makes you irresistible. Your presence disrupts their narratives. When you step into a room, it's not just your words or actions that shake things up. It's the energy you carry, the spiritual essence you radiate, that effortlessly challenges everything they've come to know and rely on. The world they've created in their minds, the neat little stories they've woven around their lives to create a sense of predictability, control, and safety. All of that crumbles when you show up. You see, they've built their own rules to navigate life, rules that help them make sense of things. that help them feel grounded and in charge. But you don't fit into those preordained categories. And that makes them uncomfortable. They're used to a certain rhythm. Leaders, followers, the ones who crave attention, and the ones who shy away. But then there's you. You don't play by their rules. Your presence disrupts their established order because, while they may expect certain dynamics to unfold, you're operating on an entirely different level, one they don't fully understand. It's not about competing for control. You don't need to chase power because without effort, it finds you. You don't seek validation, yet without trying, you command the room. There's a magnetism to you that they can't explain, and the more they try to figure it out, the more confused they become. They wonder, do you even notice the effect you have? In truth, you probably don't. You've spent years honing your ability to read energy, the subtle shifts that happen when you walk into a space. You can feel the room change around you, almost as if time pauses for a moment. But here's the key. You've mastered the art of letting it all unfold naturally. You don't force it, nor do you need to. Your presence alone carries a spiritual weight that they can't deny. They wonder what it is that makes you different, but the answer is simple. You've stopped trying to fit into their boxes. You've stopped playing by their rules. You've transcended the need to seek approval, and in doing so, you've unlocked a kind of power they can't even comprehend. This is the magic of being chosen. It's not about being the loudest or the most dominant. It's about being grounded in who you are. You've reached a place of peace within yourself, where you no longer seek the validation of others. You don't need to prove your worth because you already know it. And this quiet confidence, this spiritual essence, throws their whole narrative out of balance. The reason they are drawn to you is not because you're trying to outshine them, but because you are simply being authentically, powerfully, and effortlessly. The more they try to fit you into their world, the more they realize they can't. It's like trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. It's not meant to fit. They can't buy your attention, and that frustrates them the most. People who rely on money, status, flattery, and manipulation are used to getting what they want by appealing to others' weaknesses or desires. They throw their wealth or achievements in front of people, hoping to get admiration or control. But when it comes to you, none of that works. Your attention is not for sale, and that makes you a mystery to them. You're not impressed by surface-level achievements, and you don't fall for their emotional games or subtle tactics. While others may be swayed by guilt trips, jealousy-inducing comments, or attempts to trigger emotional reactions, you remain calm, unaffected, and clear-headed. What they don't understand is that it's not that you're cold or indifferent. You've simply learned to value what's real. You've spent time developing an understanding of yourself, your values, and what truly matters. You've cultivated a sense of self-worth that isn't dependent on external validation. Unlike most people, you're not driven by the need to impress or be impressed by others. This comes from a deeper place, what many would call a spiritual awakening. You've tapped into an inner power that allows you to see through the masks people wear, the hidden agendas behind their actions, and the false illusions they try to create. You know that true fulfillment doesn't come from external sources like money, status, or the approval of others. It comes from within. And that's what drives them crazy. They don't know how to handle someone like you, someone who can't be controlled or influenced by their usual tactics. It's not that they don't try. They will test your boundaries, play on your emotions, and attempt to manipulate your responses. But to you, their tricks fall flat. You've already learned the lesson that what matters most is authenticity, self-respect, and emotional independence. You've realized that true peace comes when you stop chasing validation and start living according to your own standards. This is what makes you different, what makes you stand out, and why they can't understand you. Their frustration is a reflection of your strength. The more they try, the more you remain unaffected, and the more they become curious, desperate to understand what makes you tick. They can't control you, and that drives them crazy. But what they don't realize is that you're not playing their game you've already won, because you've learned that the only person you need to impress is yourself. They can't help but be drawn to you, not because of anything you've said or done, but simply because of the energy you radiate. Your presence alone has the power to shake them, to make them confront everything they've been avoiding about themselves. It's not intentional, and it's not about you pointing out their flaws. You don't even need to speak a word. Your existence is a reflection of their deepest insecurities. The more they observe you, the more they realize that you represent the version of themselves they wish they could become, but haven't yet found the courage to pursue. It's the quiet confidence you carry with you that disturbs them the most. They see how effortlessly you move through life, unburdened by the things that weigh them down. Your authenticity, your independence, and your spiritual growth all serve as reminders of what they've yet to achieve in their own lives. What truly affects them is not just the way you carry yourself, but how you embody the qualities they yearn for, qualities like inner peace, strength, and unshakable confidence. You have mastered the art of standing firm in your truth, and it's this self-assurance that causes them to question why they haven't done the same. You live unapologetically, and this freedom is contagious. It makes them uneasy because they feel exposed, forced to reckon with the parts of themselves they've been avoiding. And yet, all of this happens without you ever intending to make them uncomfortable. You simply exist as you are, unapologetically true to yourself, and in doing so, you make them question their own choices, their own path, and the very foundation of their existence. In moments like these, it's easy to forget how powerful it is to just be yourself. We often chase approval, seek validation, or try to fit into the molds others create for us. But you, without even trying, are a living testament to the power of embracing who you truly are. It's in your presence that they see what they've been missing in their own lives. The courage to grow spiritually, to evolve beyond their insecurities, and to become the best version of themselves. And while they may feel intimidated, deep down, they're also inspired. They may not say it to your face, but they are drawn to you because you embody the very qualities they wish they could have. The courage, the strength, and the grace to move through life with unshakable confidence. There's something magnetic about you that others can't quite put their finger on. It's not just your outer success or the way you carry yourself. It's the fact that you're not bound by the rules that govern most people's lives. While everyone else is caught up in the conventional grind, you walk to the beat of your own drum. And it's exactly this that makes you irresistible. You operate on a different level, one that they can't comprehend, and it drives them crazy trying to figure it out. Your ability to thrive, even in the most challenging situations, leaves them in awe. They can't explain how you do it. Every setback you face only seems to fuel your growth, making you more resilient, more independent, and more powerful. What they don't see is the strength behind your success, your deep spiritual connection to something greater than yourself. This unseen force is what enables you to rise above life's difficulties with such ease and grace. They think you've got some secret formula, but the truth is far simpler. You trust in a higher power, and that faith is your foundation. What really fascinates them is the effortless way you navigate life. While others struggle, you glide through challenges, never losing your cool. They can't understand why you're not weighed down by the same worries that plague them. You've become a force of nature, a person who doesn't just survive, but thrives, not because of circumstance, but because you've tapped into a deeper well of spiritual energy and confidence. It's like you've stepped into a different dimension where the rules of the world no longer apply. And that's why they're obsessed with you. As much as they try, they'll never quite figure you out. They're too caught up in their own limited perspective to see that your success isn't about trying to play by the rules of the world. It's about tapping into a higher calling, one that guides you to greatness in ways they can only dream of. And that's what makes you stand out, not just in their eyes, but in the world at large. Your life is a reflection of what it looks like when someone truly embraces their spiritual power. You don't need external validation or approval. You don't need to conform to what society says you should be. You've found a path that is uniquely yours, and in doing so, you've unlocked a level of freedom and success that is impossible for others to replicate. That's what keeps them guessing, what keeps them hooked. Because deep down, they wish they could break free from their own limitations and tap into the same spiritual power that you possess. But only a few ever will. And that's what makes you so extraordinary. As you can see, the world is watching and wondering what makes you so special. You've been chosen, and your light is undeniable. They can't help but be drawn to you, curious about what you did to reach this level of greatness. Remember, your journey is unique, and your power is real. If this message resonates with you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Spiritual Wisdom for more powerful insights. Hit the notification bell so you won't miss any of our upcoming videos that are designed to elevate your life. Stay blessed and keep shining. They lied about the Bible's God. For over 2,000 years, a spiritual awakening, spiritual wisdom. The truth will set you free, but first, it will make you uncomfortable. In today's video, we're diving into a story that's been told and retold for over 2,000 years. A story that may not be as clear-cut as we've been taught. Have we been given the full picture of God, or is there a deeper truth that's been hidden from us? On Spiritual Wisdom, we're exploring the duality of God presented in the Bible and uncovering the powerful forces at play that shape the version of faith most of us know today. As you watch, ask yourself, is our understanding of the divine limited by centuries-old narratives, or is there a higher truth waiting to be discovered? Share your thoughts in the comments. Let's start a conversation about spiritual freedom and the search for a deeper, more personal connection with the divine. Remember to like and subscribe for more content that challenges, enlightens, and empowers. The Council of Nicaea in the 4th century marked a major turning point in the history of Christian belief, fundamentally shaping how millions would understand God. This council, led by Emperor Constantine, wasn't solely a religious gathering, but a political maneuver aimed at unifying the Roman Empire under a single set of religious beliefs. The goal was clear. A cohesive doctrine would stabilize a diverse empire and bring people together under a single controllable narrative. To achieve this, bishops and religious leaders debated the nature of God and the divinity of Jesus, eventually establishing the doctrine of the Trinity. This move, however, meant silencing other perspectives and declaring them heretical. Many early Christian texts, which offered varied views on spirituality and divine connection, were omitted or destroyed, leading to a narrowed understanding of God that excluded alternative viewpoints. The effects of these decisions are profound, as the Council's doctrine shaped what Christians would be taught for centuries to come. At its core, this standardized version of Christianity didn't just unify belief. It constructed a fixed understanding of spirituality that served political ends. By dismissing the diverse beliefs that existed in early Christianity, the Council limited people's access to a richer, multifaceted spirituality. It enforced a single narrative about God that kept questions and alternative interpretations at bay, creating a spiritual framework that felt more like a system of control than a personal connection to the divine. These decisions resonate through history, influencing the way many people still approach their faith today. It's empowering to question these long-held doctrines, especially when we know their roots were intertwined with political ambitions rather than purely spiritual motives. We have the freedom to explore various paths and ancient texts that offer a broader understanding of spirituality, allowing us to reconnect with the divine in ways that feel true to us. Spirituality, in its essence, is a deeply personal journey. It's about seeking answers, exploring different perspectives, and nurturing a relationship with God that transcends strict doctrines or dogmatic teachings. With access to information and a vast array of spiritual traditions, we have an unprecedented opportunity to explore and reshape our spiritual beliefs beyond the limitations set centuries ago. Reclaiming spirituality in this way allows for a more meaningful, individual connection with God, one that isn't confined by doctrines formed under political pressure. This approach gives us the chance to uncover a spirituality that speaks to our unique experiences, beliefs, and inner truths. Instead of simply accepting beliefs that have been passed down without question, we can approach faith with an open mind, seeking out wisdom from diverse sources and crafting a spiritual path that resonates deeply with our hearts and minds. Are you ready to rediscover a deeper, more personal spirituality beyond the doctrines shaped by politics? If so, comment below. I will seek the truth to show your commitment to exploring this path of spiritual freedom and connection. Let's question, learn, and reclaim a spirituality that truly resonates with us. For centuries, powerful institutions shaped our understanding of spirituality by controlling which teachings were included in sacred texts, creating a narrow, rigid view of connecting with the divine. Many ancient writings offered alternative perspectives that encouraged personal spiritual exploration and a deeper, more intimate relationship with the divine. However, these ideas were seen as a threat to the established authority. Religious leaders feared that if people realized they could access spiritual truths on their own, the institution's influence would weaken. As a result, they suppressed or removed these empowering teachings, often branding them as heretical. This suppression wasn't limited to removing books. It shaped entire societies and generations. With only one narrative allowed, people came to believe it was the sole truth. The possibility that individuals could connect directly with the divine without intermediaries was minimized, if not erased, entirely. Many of these lost texts spoke of compassion, unity, and self-awareness as pathways to the divine, suggesting that spirituality isn't about a distant, unreachable God, but about a divine essence within each person. Such teachings could have inspired people to look within themselves for enlightenment, rather than relying solely on external doctrine. Despite this historical suppression, the desire for a more personal spiritual connection has persisted. People today continue seeking a spiritual awakening that goes beyond traditional doctrine. Many are rediscovering these ancient perspectives, turning to lost texts and alternative philosophies to build a more fulfilling understanding. This journey reveals that spiritual awakening is not about following rigid rules, but about self-discovery and inner peace. Reclaiming this wisdom challenges us to ask, how much of what we know about spirituality has been shaped by others' intentions? By opening ourselves to these lost teachings, we can experience a richer, more personal spiritual path based on compassion and self-awareness. Spiritual awakening is not something handed down by institutions, but is a journey within. Embrace curiosity, explore beyond inherited beliefs, and recognize that your relationship with the divine is uniquely yours. Spiritual growth is a lifelong journey, and true enlightenment comes from an openness to expand your awareness and find your own path. If you found this perspective enlightening, let us know by commenting "Awakened" below. Your support helps us explore more hidden spiritual teachings and uncover empowering paths to personal enlightenment. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more insights on reclaiming your unique spiritual journey. The portrayal of God in the Bible has been shaped by powerful institutions over centuries, and this influence has deeply impacted our understanding of spirituality. In early Christianity, followers held diverse beliefs about God, from an all-encompassing loving presence to more complex, individual interpretations. However, church leaders aimed to establish their authority by enforcing a singular view, suppressing any perspectives that differed. This suppression wasn't a gentle nudge towards unity. It involved violent methods like the Inquisitions and Crusades, where anyone who challenged the established interpretation was labeled a heretic and faced severe punishment. Through these acts, the Church not only shaped belief, but tightly controlled how people connected with the divine. The imposed monolithic view led to fear and repression, making people wary of exploring their own understanding of God. If someone believed God could be found within or outside church walls, they risked persecution. Countless thinkers, teachers, and followers were silenced simply for seeing God differently. Imagine if everyone had been free to interpret and seek God in a way that resonated with them. How much more inclusive and diverse might our spiritual landscape be today? As Emerson famously said, "Every man is a divinity in disguise." This idea that each person holds a spark of the divine within could have transformed how we see one another and how we connect spiritually. The Church's hold on spiritual thought extended beyond matters of faith. Even new ideas in philosophy and science faced resistance if they contradicted religious teachings. Galileo, who suggested that Earth revolved around the sun, challenged the Church's interpretation of God's creation and faced intense pressure to recant. This conflict illustrates how exploration and spirituality were often in opposition, with the Church suppressing discoveries that threatened its narrative. Imagine how much humanity might have learned if curiosity and spirituality had been allowed to coexist freely. We may have missed out on wisdom that could have enriched our understanding of the divine. These influences are not just historical. Even today, echoes of this suppression affect how we speak about spirituality and God. Many people hesitate to explore personal beliefs for fear of judgment or rejection. Are we truly free to follow our spiritual paths, or are we still bound by the shadows of past doctrines? Embracing a personal, unrestricted path to spirituality could be transformative. What if, as Rumi suggested, the wound is the place where the light enters you? By reflecting on our own experiences and wounds, we might find our unique expressions of the divine without feeling bound by rigid beliefs. Stepping beyond imposed restrictions allows us to discover spirituality as a personal journey rather than a fixed doctrine. Imagine a world where each person's understanding of God is respected, where everyone is free to seek and grow in their own way. As Einstein once said, the most beautiful experience we can have is the mysterious. Perhaps spirituality is meant to be a mysterious, deeply personal journey that can't be contained by rules. Embracing this mystery may lead to a richer, deeper connection with the divine, one that transcends traditional boundaries and invites us to seek God in every moment of our lives. Share your thoughts in the comments. How do you see God within you, around you, or in a different way entirely? Let's start a meaningful conversation. The portrayal of God that most people have known is deeply rooted in traditional images of Yahweh, a deity often seen as powerful, sometimes wrathful, and heavily involved in human affairs. But there's an alternative understanding rooted in ancient Gnostic teachings, which present a different view of the divine. The Gnostics believed in a higher, unknowable source of pure love and wisdom, a God far beyond the limitations of human understanding. They saw Yahweh as a lesser, controlling deity who created the physical world, but also demanded worship and obedience, binding humanity to a material existence filled with suffering. In contrast, the Gnostic God, as they understood it, doesn't seek control or adulation. This higher divine force exists beyond earthly power structures, encouraging humans to seek inner wisdom and a personal connection to a deeper spiritual truth. For the Gnostics, true spirituality was not about submission to rules, but about an internal journey to uncover wisdom, love, and divine truth. This perspective challenges us to rethink our own beliefs about spirituality, particularly if the conventional view of God feels limiting. Instead of living under a view that emphasizes fear, obedience, or rules, This alternative vision invites us to explore, question, and experience the divine as a boundless presence both within us and all around us. This concept holds powerful implications for modern life. In a world where control and authority are often imposed through social structures, work environments, and personal anxieties, the idea of a God beyond these constraints offers a kind of liberation. Embracing a spirituality that prioritizes inner growth and wisdom over strict obedience can transform our lives, encouraging us to seek a deeper, more meaningful connection to the divine. Shifting to this Gnostic view isn't about rejecting traditional beliefs, but enriching our spiritual lives by embracing questions that lead to a truer understanding of the divine. It means stepping away from a controlling vision of God and moving toward one that empowers us to find inner peace, freedom, and a sense of connection to a limitless source of wisdom and love. This journey of seeking the divine within brings a profound sense of freedom, guiding us not through fear, but through a realization that we are part of a boundless, compassionate, and wise essence. This approach to spirituality encourages us to explore our beliefs and find a God not defined by control, but by love and an infinite depth that invites our own growth. True spirituality, as the Gnostics saw it, is a deeply personal and inward journey toward discovering the sacred truths that lie within each of us, connecting us to something greater, freer, and wiser. If this alternative view of the divine resonates with you, please share your thoughts by commenting "I resonate" below. Join the conversation and connect with others who seek a deeper, more liberated understanding of spirituality. Let's explore this journey together. The Bible presents a complex, sometimes contradictory image of God that has puzzled believers for thousands of years. On one side, God appears loving, merciful, and compassionate, guiding and caring for humanity with grace. On the other, there are moments where God seems vengeful, demanding obedience and punishing those who stray. These contrasting images have led many to question whether the traditional teachings about God reflect his true nature, or if they've been influenced by human motives shaped by cultural, historical, and political shifts over the centuries. One major issue is how these different portrayals affect people's understanding of morality, justice, and love. How can we reconcile a God who encourages love and forgiveness with a God who commands harsh punishments? For generations, religious institutions have often highlighted particular aspects of God, perhaps to promote obedience or maintain control within communities. By emphasizing God's authority and wrath, these institutions may have promoted a version of God that served their needs more than it reflected the complexity of the divine being described in Scripture. This focus has, for many, created a sense of fear around the divine, rather than fostering a loving, personal relationship with God. These inconsistencies invite us to go beyond traditional teachings and to seek an authentic, personal connection with the divine. A true spiritual awakening does not come from merely accepting inherited beliefs. It emerges from deep, personal exploration and a willingness to engage with the paradoxes of faith. By letting go of rigid interpretations, we might see the Bible not as a one-dimensional rulebook, but as a dynamic text that mirrors humanity's evolving understanding of God. Perhaps the duality we observe isn't a mistake, but a mirror reflecting the complexities within each of us. Just as we are capable of both compassion and anger, maybe the Bible's portrayal of God embodies these qualities not to confuse us, but to show us the full spectrum of the divine. Engaging with these questions doesn't weaken faith, it enriches it, leading to a deeper, more nuanced spirituality. This exploration allows us to move from fearing God's judgment to seeking a closer, more genuine relationship. The Bible, in all its complexities, invites believers to question, explore, and connect with the divine in ways that honor both the light and shadow within us. Ultimately, the lesson here is clear. Faith isn't about blind obedience, but about fostering a relationship that encourages growth, understanding, and personal spiritual awakening. The Bible, rather than being a book of strict rules, is a guide for discovery, a call to seek deeper meaning, and a path toward a spiritual awakening that is both personal and profound. If you're ready to explore the true depths of faith and seek an authentic connection with the divine, join the conversation. Comment, "I'm ready to seek," below. Let's dive beyond the surface together. The rediscovered texts, like the Gospel of Thomas and the Book of Enoch, challenge traditional views by offering a richer, more profound perspective on spirituality. These writings suggest that spirituality is a personal journey of self-discovery, rather than a path defined strictly by external rules or religious institutions. The Gospel of Thomas emphasizes finding the divine within oneself, encouraging a direct connection with God that is independent of organized religious practices. This idea of an internal, self-guided spirituality contrasts with mainstream teachings, which often focus on salvation through obedience to church authorities. The Book of Enoch further expands our understanding of the spiritual realm, describing heavenly beings called the Watchers who descend to earth and share knowledge with humans. This story presents a unique link between humanity and the divine, hinting at the existence of spiritual dimensions beyond the material world. These teachings suggest that divine wisdom is accessible to all who seek it, and that humanity's relationship with the spiritual realm is closer and more interactive than traditional beliefs often portray. The exclusion of these texts raises important questions. In the early days of Christianity, powerful councils decided which books would make up the Bible, shaping a version of spirituality that aligned with the institutional church's goals. By encouraging self-reliance and spiritual independence, texts like the Gospel of Thomas and the Book of Enoch could have posed a threat to the centralized authority of the church. A self-directed spirituality shifts power back to the individual, suggesting that each person can seek divine truth within themselves, without needing an intermediary. Reimagining a world where these teachings were part of mainstream spirituality might mean a society where individuals believe in a direct personal relationship with the divine. This vision could reshape our understanding of community, compassion, and personal responsibility, grounded in a spirituality that encourages self-reflection and exploration. The idea of a more inclusive and personal spirituality aligns with the wisdom of thinkers like Buddha, who taught, "Do not believe anything simply because you have heard it." These ancient texts invite us to question, to seek, and to redefine our understanding of God and the universe. Embracing these lost texts opens up a pathway to reclaiming a piece of spiritual heritage hidden for centuries. They invite us to view spirituality as a boundless journey of exploration and discovery, echoing Rumi's words, "You are not a drop in the ocean, you are the entire ocean in a drop." By reconnecting with these teachings, we aren't just learning about God, we're also rediscovering our own divine potential, realizing that the divine may be as close as our own consciousness. If this exploration of hidden spiritual wisdom has sparked a new perspective on connecting with the divine, comment, "I'm connecting with God," below. Your thoughts help us dive deeper into these profound spiritual journeys together. Re-examining Lucifer as a symbol of knowledge and freedom reveals a perspective that challenges traditional beliefs. In many ancient texts, particularly in Gnostic teachings, Lucifer isn't simply a figure of darkness, but instead embodies enlightenment, representing intellectual and spiritual liberation. This perspective sees Lucifer not as a force of evil, but as a challenger to an authoritative deity, pushing humanity toward curiosity and deeper understanding. By framing Lucifer as a symbol of the pursuit of truth, this viewpoint suggests he encourages us to seek knowledge beyond established boundaries, fostering an independent approach to spirituality. One essential idea here is the contrast between obedience and free thought. Traditional interpretations often demand unwavering faith and adherence, portraying questioning as disloyal or even dangerous. But through the lens of Gnostic spirituality, Lucifer represents the courage to challenge the status quo and look beyond what's prescribed. This idea encourages us to engage actively with spirituality, to explore and question without fear. In a world where many are often told what to believe, this viewpoint emphasizes personal spiritual growth as a journey of active discovery, not passive acceptance. Another significant aspect of this perspective is the relevance of Lucifer's story to modern life. Today, access to information is greater than ever, and people can seek knowledge freely, questioning societal and religious norms that once felt unbreakable. Lucifer's story becomes a metaphor for intellectual bravery in our time, a reminder to break free from restrictive ideologies and cultivate a spirituality that resonates personally. Rather than viewing spirituality as rigid or fixed, this approach invites each person to define their beliefs, allowing room for growth, change, and deeper understanding. This doesn't imply rejecting all previous beliefs. Instead, it's about finding a balance between respect for tradition and openness to new insights. Seeing Lucifer as a symbol of freedom doesn't equate to rejecting spirituality. Instead, it offers a path toward a richer, more fulfilling spiritual life. Spirituality, in this sense, becomes a dynamic, personal experience, a continual search for truth and wisdom. Embracing this view means engaging with spirituality as a living journey, one that evolves with our understanding and expands our sense of connection to the universe. By reframing Lucifer's story in this way, we reclaim the right to spiritual autonomy, finding meaning not in blind acceptance, but in the courage to seek, question, and grow. If these ancient teachings have deepened your understanding of God and spirituality, share your thoughts by commenting "Seeking God's Wisdom" below. Your reflections inspire us to continue exploring these powerful spiritual insights together. This perspective reimagines God not as a distant figure, accessible only through religious institutions, but as a universal presence residing within each of us. By seeing the divine as an internal force, we tap into a spiritual truth that challenges the traditional view. For thousands of years, people have been taught to seek God outside of themselves, relying on doctrines and institutions. This teaching suggests a separation between humanity and divinity, leading us to believe that divine connection requires intermediaries. However, a different understanding exists. Each person holds a divine spark, a piece of universal consciousness connecting us to all of existence. This concept invites us to recognize that God is woven into our being, accessible without rituals or institutions. This shift has profound implications. Realizing that divinity is internal transforms how we relate to spirituality. Instead of following prescribed beliefs, we become explorers of our inner divine nature, fostering personal empowerment and responsibility in our spiritual journey. With this internalized view, spirituality is no longer bound by walls or limited by dogma. It is a journey inward. Each of us carries within a source of wisdom, love, and peace that doesn't rely on external validation. This understanding allows us to experience spirituality through compassion, kindness, and unity, guiding us to live in harmony with others and ourselves. A spiritual awakening through this internal lens leads us to see God not as a distant, worshipped figure, but as a force we embody in everyday life. This realization is freeing and powerful. When we accept that divinity flows through our actions and thoughts, we cultivate a life of authenticity, fueled by love and understanding. We no longer seek external approval, but look within for guidance, realizing that the truth has always been within us. Embracing this truth is both empowering and humbling, as it brings with it the responsibility to nurture the divine spark within ourselves and honor it in others. In embracing this view, we find that true spirituality is a journey of self-discovery rather than adherence to doctrine. Recognizing God as an internal presence brings a sense of freedom, grounding us in the knowledge that we are part of a larger, interconnected whole. Through this journey, we gain not only a deeper connection to ourselves, but also a profound sense of unity with all that is divine. This path invites us to live with purpose, compassion, and reverence, seeing divinity as a shared essence that connects and inspires us all. As we conclude, let's reflect on the powerful journey we've explored together. The perspectives we discussed reveal how our understanding of God and spirituality has been shaped by centuries of influence, often hiding deeper truths and alternative teachings. By questioning these established narratives, we can rediscover a more personal, fulfilling spiritual connection, one that transcends imposed doctrines and encourages inner growth, self-discovery, and a profound sense of unity with the divine. This journey isn't just about learning history. It's about reclaiming a spirituality that resonates personally, free from limitations, and open to our unique experiences and truths. I invite you to take these insights and apply them to your daily life. What does spirituality mean to you beyond what you've been taught? How might you reconnect with the divine in ways that feel authentic to your own heart and mind? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's spark a conversation about spiritual freedom and self-discovery. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join our community here at Spiritual Wisdom as we continue to explore topics that challenge, inspire, and empower each of us on our path to personal growth and happiness.